The hidden power of change. There's so much in our lives that we're scared to take that risk. And I just got off of a Zoom meeting with one of our advisors that we are onboarding next month. And she's like, yep, I'm overwhelmed. I'm scared. I'm in this place. It's why we created a whole 6-month program to help women transition over to our firm, get them onboarded and settled in, and really build them. We're the vessel for them to thrive. And hearing her story was reminding me so much of my own story and all of our advisor stories. And we've created a podcast and a magazine called Women Behind the Millions. I just got the sample, the blueprint of the magazine, got chills, started crying. And the topic is called The Hidden Power of Change, because we get so wrapped up in what we're used to and we fall into these patterns. Even when we welcome more wealth into our lives, it's scary. Our body doesn't know how to deal with it. So we kind of short circuit. We fall back. We sabotage ourselves. And I see this happening with women all the time. You might view it as imposter syndrome or paralysis, dialysis, too overwhelmed. And we fall back to what our body knows. But what happens when we do this is we are basically living in our past. We are living how our bodies have lived in the past because that's all that they know. Or can we move forward into the future? Can we start living today as what we call our money queen, right? Our inner money queen lives. How do we tap into that woman that does make and earn the millions, that supports other women earning the millions? How do we bring her into conversation today? How do we emulate her today? And I was watching YouTube this morning, and one of the doctors was saying how when we can look at our past and detach from the emotions of that event, that's called wisdom, because we are learning from it. But the key is that emotion. We remember things in our past because of a very strong emotional trigger or anger that keeps us rooted in that moment. It makes it a memory. You think back to your childhood memories. A lot of them were very heightened emotional times and moments. So how can we look back to our previous money mistakes, decisions that didn't go well for us? How do we detach from that emotion of failure and just know this is what needed to happen for myself to learn a lesson, which is the wisdom? And how can we pull that wisdom so we don't repeat it, we learn from it, and we choose differently today? I love this work. I love when we tie in the science behind meditations and prayers. I'm a very spiritual person. I love meditating. I meditate every morning on my couch. Even one of the first things in our magazine is on meditation. We give you even a free sample of a meditation, because what it does is it allows us to step out of stress and into what we call receiving mode. When we are in stress, our mind, our brain actually stops receiving chemicals to it. It almost short circuits, and we aren't able to make logical decisions, especially long-term decisions. Our body moves us into fight or flight mode. And this happens whenever we are in a new situation. So these women moving over, transitioning to our firm, they're moving into a new situation, and it can trigger all of these emotions. And then what happens? They revert back to what's familiar. But we have these tools. So what we do during these 6 months, we work with our advisors, we do meditations, we do different things to help move them out of stress and overwhelm into breathing, allowing, receiving, getting the help, and getting clear on what are the next steps. So I'm not saying it's not stressful. At times it is stressful, but we give you the tools to work through that stress. And the same thing that we do with our clients, moving through these stressful periods, especially with the markets being crazy, move through these stressful periods in the markets. And so much of it is going back to basics of just breath work, meditation. And the more we're in those states, even if it's just 15 minutes a day, you're going to start to see miracles happen in your life. You're going to see miracles happen in your life because It allows your brain to receive the chemicals again. It allows your body to flow blood to the areas it needs to, like critical thinking, digestion. It allows your body to heal and rest. And that allows our subconscious, our intuition, our higher self, God, to speak to us. And that's where we get all of our inspired actions for change. So the more we can move into those states, those relaxation states, whether it's taking a walk outside, sitting on your couch, doing some breath work, meditating, praying, even listening to some music that allows you to move from stress to rest. It will allow you to tap into your intuition more and more. It'll allow you to trust your decisions more and more. And it's going to lead to better outcomes. And it's going to lead to different outcomes than what you are used to. That's the key, right? The definition of insanity is repeating the same patterns over and over again, expecting a different result. So now, because we're listening to our intuition, we're listening to our higher self, God, we're making new decisions, new actions that are inspired, that we can trust, that are actually safe. They might not feel safe because they're so different and our body doesn't know what to do with them, but they are safe because where are they coming from? God. So we can trust them. But just by making new behaviors, we're going to have different outcomes. And that's the whole point of moving you out of this state of lack and stress to in a state of abundance, of trust, of receiving. And in order to do that, we have to do different behaviors. So I encourage you today, your behavior, go sit and meditate. See if you feel any different. See if anything comes up. If you need some help with that, go to Confessions of a Money Queen. We have free money meditation downloads that you can get at any point. You can use, reuse. All of our advisors, they do the Lift course that goes along with the book. And when they feel stuck, they go back to the Lift course. They go back to it and rewatch it because the meditations, they're there for a reason. There's a scientific reason behind doing meditations and how it opens you up to earning more money. Now we're connecting the dots, and it's so freaking exciting for me. And I cannot wait for you to hear more about this on our podcast, Women Behind the Millions, and in our magazine, Women Behind the Millions, that is launching 2023 of next year. All right, stay tuned. I cannot wait to share these amazing assets with you because they really are going to change lives. They're going to transform lives.